Hi, my name is Dr. Kavin and I'm here to check cardiovascular system for my patient. Let's examine it.
First step in our cardiovascular assessment. In our cardiovascular assessment, the JVP is best assessed from pulsation in the right internal jugular vein. In the right internal jugular vein, first adjust the head of the examiner with table to 30 degrees. The patient's supine placed the patient's head on the pillow just to top of the shoulder. To relax the sternocleidomastoid muscles, then adjust the patient's gown and drape as necessary both sides of the neck, then turn the patient's head slightly to the left since the physical examination. Now measure the oscillation point of the pulsation in the right triangular vein using the following technique. First, extend an elongated rectangular object such as 3 by 5 cord from the meniscus point of the pulsation while extending a centimeter ruler vertically from the sternal angle, making a right angle to establish the true vertical and horizontal line. Place your ruler on the sternal angle and line it with the vertical line in the room. Then place your cord or other rectangular object in an exact right angle to the ruler. This constitutes your horizontal line. Make sure the edge of the cord is at the point of the oscillation of the jugular venous pulsation. Sure to keep a cord horizontal till the vertical distance from the cord crosses the ruler. This measurement identifies the jugular venous pressure. The patient remains supine with the upper body raised to 30 degrees. First, inspect the anterior chest, noting any eaves or lift. None are observed. Here, careful inspection may also reveal the location of the apical impulse. Latent examination, we palpate to more clearly identify the apical impulse. Now first proceed with palpating the chest wall. First palpate for eaves or thrills using our finger pads. Hold them flat or obliquely on the body surface. As you palpate in the right and left interspace along vertical impulses may heave or lift your finger, suggesting vertical dilation. None is seen here. Then check for thrills by pressing of your hand firmly on the chest in the same location. If subsequent oscillation reveals a loud murmur, go back and check for thrills over that area again using the palpal surface. The several fingers. Then the final assessment, use fingertips which is followed alone palpate to confirm the characteristics of apical impulse. Then we will note location, amplitude, and we will identify location. Now we will begin the oscillation sequence. Adjust the stethoscope so that we can listen through the diaphragm. Begin listening in the aortic area, the right second interspace close to the sternum, starting in the right second interface. Help orient us to cardiac cycle. Note the cardiac rate and rhythm. Normally the rate is 60 to 100 beats per minute and rhythm is regular. Identify S1 and S2 in the aortic area. S2 is usually louder than S1. In this area, S2 is usually louder than S1 in the pulmonic area. Now just tell the patient to breathe in and out. Still listening in the pulmonic area, try to identify the inspiratory splitting of the S2 into its two components. Its first component A2 is from aortic valve closure. Its second compartment P2 comes from the pulmonic valve closure. The physiological splitting of S2 usually a diastolic murmur falling between S2 and S1, falling before or after the cardiac upstroke. Murmurs are classified according to where they fall in systole and diastole. Palpating the cardiac pulse as we listen to the